Hola, this is the Getting to Ramen podcast, and I'm Joshua Anderton. Hello, it's been a while. Sorry about that, but it is what it is. I'm gonna try and do these a bit more often, and I'm gonna try this video thing. See how this goes. I just like standing up. It's kind of nice. Standing up. Don't have the camera or don't have the phone. The phone. I guess I did start using a phone for the podcast. I don't have the microphone right in my face, which is nice. So, anyways, we'll give this a go. I wanted to talk today about whether or not you should have more than one business starting up at the same time. And I think that as a maker, it's a tendency that I have is to just build things, just keep building things, because it's not that it's easy, but it's a lot easier than going out and talking to customers, doing a bunch of market research. A lot of the other things, those are harder. At least they seem to be harder. They're also something that has to happen generally during the workday, which is the time that I spend on my day job. So that's another thing. It's really easy when you're hacking at things at night to go, well, I'll just build another tool and maybe that'll just take off magically. Anyways, these are the thoughts that go through my head. And right now I'm kind of at this place where I've got 3 different businesses that I'm trying to start here. And I'm trying to decide whether I should just pick one and focus on it or diversify like this. Have a few different options that could potentially take off, and at that time then focus on just the one, or keep the options open. There's a few companies that have done this really well, like Basecamp, Wildbit. Userfeed is actually, or Ad Reform is another great example of that, where we have a few different tools that we're running. That's not necessarily a bad way to go. It's worked for a lot of different businesses, but whether or not it's the right thing for me personally or for most businesses is kind of the question that I've been wrestling with. So I've been working on Upscribe, which has actually been doing better lately. It was losing revenue for several months, and recently, after pivoting to being more of an email marketing tool and really focusing on simplifying the product, I'm actually seeing the revenue go up slowly, and people are excited to use a simpler email tool. So now that's appealing again. It's like, well, maybe I mean, and it always has been, just because it is a fun tool and it's some really great customers that I love helping out. I love working with. But the other thing there is that it's always been something that I've worked on in the evenings and weekends. So if I focus on it, spend more time on it, am I gonna see better results or the same results? So there's Upscribe, and then Podmelon is the other one that I've been working on, which is a productized service for podcast editing. And that's been really fun. I'm being able to meet some really cool people. I'm working on some really fun shows, but it isn't growing like I thought it would. Initially, when I announced it, I got my first few customers really quickly. So it just felt really organic. It felt like there was clearly demand. But that was a year ago, and I've tried a lot of other things, a lot of other channels, paid advertising on Twitter and Google and networking and things like that. And there just doesn't seem to be the same demand that there was. And whether that's because it's crowded now and there's lots of editing services, or I'm charging too much, I'm not sure. But I haven't kind of cracked that yet. And so that's another one of those, it's another thing that's kind of in that limbo. It's like, how much time do I focus on this? Because ultimately I want to run a SaaS business. I really love working on Podmelon, and I want to keep running that for as long as I can. But for me, software is the goal. And so with that, I've recently launched or built another app that is called Billingly, which is a dunning email tool that lets you hook up your transactional email service so SendGrid or Postmark, and we use that to send your dunning emails. And because of that, we can charge a fixed rate instead of charging you based on how much revenue you're bringing in or how many emails you're sending or whatever. So this was kind of the piece that I felt is missing with Upscribe right now, which is a clear market, a clear customer. These are digital subscription businesses, and a differentiator, which is because I'm able to use transactional email tools in this way, I can charge a lot less than the competitors. So it felt like there's a great opportunity here. I'm going to give this a try. Clearly, people are paying for this service. Churnbuster is a huge business that's doing really well, and there's a lot of other businesses that are in the scene as well. So that's the plan. So I'm launching this thing. I've been using it with Upscribe for a few weeks now, and it's working really well. I've recovered hundreds of dollars so far, which feels really cool. So this is the struggle, is if I just focus on this new thing, or if I don't, or if I focus on Upscribe, or if I focus on Podmelon, am I going to see better results, the same results? And I don't have an answer for this. Hopefully in, 20 episodes, I'll be able to look back at this and go, oh, Josh, it's so obvious. It was right in front of you. You should have done this. But I can't do that right now. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. So I hope you're doing well. I hope you're healthy and safe. And shoot me a message if this was at all interesting or helpful for you. I don't know how it could be helpful other than being able to relate. If you feel the same way, then great. I'd also love to just hear your feedback. What do you think? Should I just focus on one thing? Should I keep options open like this? What's the best way to go? Anyways, have a good one.